Hello, my champions. In this video, I'm going to talk about a very misunderstood, or rather, I would say, not properly understood concept of fractions by many mathematics students. And even if they know how to do, but they do not understand why it is like that. What is that concept I'm talking about? It is called the simplest form of a fraction. Simplest form of a fraction. When they ask you to find a simplest form of a fraction, let's say what is the fraction that I have shown here? If you see, it's ninth, right? What is the fraction of the colored thing? It is 6/9. This is the fraction, let's say. Now the question says, find the simplest form of this fraction. Yeah, many people would have, or you would have also done this like this. But what is this? But what is this? Why is it like that? Okay, that we are going to understand now. And we also want to find out which is the very simplest way to get the simplest form of fraction. That also we're going to understand. Okay, now if you see, we've got this is 6/9. If we have to find the simplest form, what is the meaning of simplest form is further than that, you cannot reduce it. Means so what I'm going to do is, can I group it? Can I group these fractions in such a way that these parts, right? These parts can be grouped in a certain way. Means, let's say these three are grouped together. Okay. Then these three are grouped together. Then these three are grouped together. Why am I grouping it like this? So what is happening? All the uncolored ones is forming one group. Colored, because uncolored one, three boxes, three pieces have grouped. So rest also I'm grouping as three. If if it was five was colored or something like that, I will not be able to do that. Means, for example, if it was like this, now if I take the four of it as one group, I may not able to get it. Like say for example, if I take four as a group, then again I have to take four pieces as group. Then one piece will be left behind. So that I can't do. What if I try to do like two, right? I can take two pieces as one group. Can I do that? Then also what will happen? One piece will be left. Okay. So I will not be able to group in this case. In this case, I will not be able to do. But as of now, for the sake of our convenience to understand this concept, what are we going to do? It's a 6/9. So I am going to group three pieces together such that colored piece and the uncolored piece also I'm able to group in the same way, proper. Okay. Now, if you see, if I take this entire thing as one box, one piece, one part, what is fraction? We know the total parts and the selected part, correct? Selected or colored parts. That is the definition of a fraction. So if you see the total parts, if I take group, first group, second group, third group, the total group is three. Total parts is three, and the selected part, the colored parts is two. So this 2/3 is also talking about the same fraction, and that is a simplest form. Now, can you further do? We are not sure. We are not sure whether we can do it. Okay. Okay, let's take 2/3. Okay, let's take 2/3. Okay, this is 2/3. Can I make this any further groupings? I will not be able to do. Even if I take 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, again, I can't do this. This is the final thing. This is the most simple way of showing this one. Instead of showing 6/9, I can tell it as 2/3. That's the most simplest way to tell that. That is the reason I call it the simplest form. Now, what if I have a fraction like 24/36? How will I find the simplest fraction? Simplest form of this fraction. If you compare the previous example, how did we get the simpler one without even the diagram? What can we do is, if we see here, we have divided the 9 by 3 to get the 3, and we have divided the 6 also by 3 to get a 2, right? Both the things, it's again the concept of equivalent fractions. If you do not know what is equivalent fractions, go back and check my other videos about equivalent fractions. Okay, now simplest form of a fraction means you're just finding a equivalent fraction for the given fraction. For 6 by 9, you're finding the equivalent fraction, which is the most simplest. You cannot find a very much more simpler than this. That's what the meaning is. Okay, now can I find a equivalent fraction for this? 24 over 36. Yes, I think why? Because I can divide it by anything, So if the only condition is I have to divide by same thing. If I am going to divide it by say 3, okay. If I am going to divide this both the things by 3, what will I get? I will get 24 divided by 3 is a 8, and 36 divided by 3 will be a 12. So 8/12. So we can take a 8/12 and see. Okay. Yes. This is a 8/12. Correct? This is a 8/12. Now, can I make further simplification for this? Yes, I can do this simplification. How can I do it? I'm just going to change the same thing. I am going to make it like this. This shows me that it can be further simplified as what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ninth. Oh, I can make this a 6 ninth also. 6 ninth also I can make it. Right. Okay. Now can I do further simplification of this? Yes, I can do further simplification of this. What is the further simplification? I am getting it as 4/6. 4/6. See, this and this might not have a perfect, immediate connection. But however, all these are equivalent fractions because I am not changing the coloring. I'm just changing the denominator. Okay. Now, can I make it much more further? Can I do simplification of this? Let's see. Let's do this and see. Yes, I can still do it further, and I have found it to be 2/3. See, previously also we had 6/9. The simplest form we got as 2/3. Now, this is such a big process. Is there a easier way, better way to do this, finding the simplest fraction? Is by using HCF concept. If you do not know what is HCF, go back to my videos where I have talked about factors and multiples. There you will find out what is HCF. Okay. Now, what am I talking about here? When I have got 24 over 36, instead of doing it in multiple steps like this, I can just take what is the HCF of 36, 24 and 36. That means what? There are multiple ways to find HCF, multiple methods. But however, the concept is one thing only. What is that one thing? You have to find the factors which is common to both 24 and 36, and it should be the highest one. Highest factor for 24 will be 24, and for this it will be 36. Little lesser than that, it will be 12, and for this, the next little lesser than this will be 18. A little lesser than that will be a 12. So instead of starting from the beginning, the smallest one, because I want the highest factor, common factor, I have found that 12 is the common factor. Now I can directly divide this by 12. That means 24 divided by 12 and 36 divided by 12. That will give me 24 divided by 12 is 2 and 36 divided by 12 is 3. Directly in one step, I have got the simplest fraction, simplest form of this fraction. And many times you would have seen people do it this way. 12 times 2, 12 times 3. They will call this as cancelling. Understand one thing, there is nothing called cancelling. It is actually, they are doing this division by 12. So math champions don't go by just, they call it some way, something. No, no, no. We go by what is the proper understanding of it. You can also use this, like putting a slash and writing a 2 there, putting a slash, writing a 3. You can do that. But math champions have a clear understanding about what we are doing. It is not just, just copy something, just to do something. No, that is not the way we do. Okay. Now, what is the way to find the simplest form of a fraction? Take the HCF of the numerator and the denominator. Why we do that? Because if we have got a common factor, okay, it will divide both. Now, let's think about some other common factor, okay. Let's say for 24 and 36, the common factor is 2 and 2. See, we could divide by 2 and 2. There's another common factor called 3 and 3. See, for 24, a factor is 3. 36 also factor is 3. That means I can divide by 3 and 3 also. I can divide by 2 and 2 also. I can do by many things. But if it is the highest common factor, what will happen? It will divide it much more. Like you'll get the least answer when you do with the highest number, right? So the common factors, if we take and divide, it will divide both the numbers, numerator and denominator numbers, as well as if it is the highest one, then you will get the lowest answer as the quotient. Thereby, you will get the simplest fraction. Okay, that is the reason we are using HCF. Even if I am telling just use HCF, you should not, just stop there. You have to try to understand why it is, how it is. Okay, this is the reason we use HCF. Common factors will divide both of them, both the numerator and denominators. If it's the highest common factor, you will get the least answer, which will be the simplest form of this fraction. I hope you've understood with the reasoning how to find the simplest form of a fraction. Let me see you in another video where we will remove much more misunderstandings of mathematics generally that students have. If you understand how and why, you will fall in love with mathematics. And that is my aim. And that is my vision for all of you. All the very best. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.